man's fingers had locked onto the photograph as if it was the only real thing left in the world. The picture was old, cold, and black and white, a lonely grave beneath a banyan tree that looked like a giant from another time. The fog around him, once ordinary, it moved like it had a mind of its own, deadening every sound, swallowing every shape. Just seconds ago, a stranger had walked out of that fog, a tall figure in a long coat, face lost in shadow, and pressed the photo into his hand. Then, a cold breath against his ear, and 4 English words that would shatter his life. Remember this grave. When Aman turned, the stranger had already dissolved into nothing. Time rewinds subtly, the screen darkens. Then we see the same car driving through a narrow forest road at night. The headlights barely pierce the fog. Inside, Aman glances at the GPS screen, which flickers and dies. To understand what happened next, you have to go back about 30 minutes. It was 10:47 p.m. Aman was driving home through the old forest road that Google Maps had suggested as a shortcut. The route was empty, not a single vehicle, not a single pair of headlights in the distance. The trees on either side leaned in like they were reading something over his shoulder. Then the GPS went dead, not recalculating, not lost signal, just dead, as if the car had been swallowed by a place that didn't exist on any map. That's when he saw it, the turn, an unmarked dirt cut, almost invisible, like a scar in the woods. And standing right at the edge of that cut was a figure. A man's foot moved to the brake before his brain even gave the order. He stopped the car, heart banging against his ribs. Who would be out here at this hour, in this fog, miles from anywhere? The figure didn't wave, didn't move. It just stood waiting, slow, deliberate approach. The figure's long coat flutters faintly. Its face remains hidden, as if the fog itself is filling the space where features should be. A man's knuckles turn white on the steering wheel. The stranger stops at the window. A pale, unimaginably cold hand emerges and slides a photograph through the gap. A man couldn't explain why he didn't drive away. His body was screaming at him to press the accelerator, but something heavy, something older than fear, kept him there. The figure moved without sound. It reached the car window and bent down slowly, like an old ritual. The face was still hidden, only darkness. And then came the hand, long fingers, grayish in the headlight beam, holding a small rectangle of paper. The hand slid the photograph onto a man's lap, and then, in a voice that was barely a whisper, but cut through the fog like a shard of ice, the stranger spoke. Close up on the stranger's lips, still obscured, but the sound is clear. Remember this grave. Remember this grave. Not a request, not a warning. It was a command that felt like it had been waiting for Aman all his life. Before Aman could react, the stranger stepped back and dissolved into the wall of mist, gone as though the fog had only borrowed a shape for a moment. Aman throws open the car door, stumbles out, shouts into the fog. No response, just the emptiness and the faint sound of his own breathing. He looks down at the photo. In his trembling hand, the grave, the banyan tree. Back inside the car, Aman turns on the interior light. He flips the photo over. Written on the back, in old, faded ink, 16 August, 1998. A close-up on Aman's face as the blood drains from it. Aman sat there, the engine purring softly, and turned the photograph over. On the back, in blue ink that had probably dried decades ago, was a date 16 August, 1998. That number hit him like a physical blow. It was his birthday. His mind ran in frantic circles. A coincidence? A sick joke? But deep down, in the part of the brain that still listens to primal fears, he knew it was neither. He felt exposed, as though the fog had crawled inside the car and started reading his memories. He searched the road again, drove up and down that stretch, but found nothing. No footprints, no signs of life. only the old stones on the roadside and the tree branches that now seemed to form impossible shapes against the black sky. Montage of Aman driving home in a daze, the photo on the passenger seat. The city lights return, but the unease follows. He keeps glancing at the rearview mirror. Morning, Aman's apartment. The photo lies on a desk, Hess hunched over a laptop, eyes tired. He searches for 16 August 1998 forest accident and similar terms. Old newspaper clippings flash on screen. Then, a visit to a dusty municipal archive. A silent, elderly caretaker points him toward a map of abandoned cemeteries. Sleep didn't come. The next morning, Aman began digging, not because he wanted to, but because something was pulling him by the nerves. Online archives, old microfilm, newspaper obituaries from 1998, hours blurred together, and then he found a faint reference to an abandoned graveyard deep in the same forest, a place that hadn't been maintained for 50 years. The records called it the Forgotten Necropolis. The caretaker at the city archive, a man who looked like he carried more silence than words, confirmed its location. He warned Aman not to go, but Aman was already moving, as if the photo was a ticket, and the journey had already been paid for. Aman driving again, this time in dull afternoon light. The forest looks different, quieter, heavier. He parks and walks, carrying the photo like a map. Overgrown paths, broken gate. Aman pushes through vines and dead leaves. Sound design crunching footsteps. Distant bird calls that suddenly stop. Then he sees it, the banyan tree, exactly as in the photo, its roots swallowing broken headstones. A wide shot of the tree looming against a gray sky. The banyan tree was unmistakable. It was older than memory, with roots that spread like frozen veins over the earth. Beneath it, buried under a thick blanket of moss and rotting leaves, lay a grave. It wasn't just any grave, it was the grave. The angle of the cracked stone, the shape of the mound, everything matched the photograph. Aman knelt down, his hands shaking, and began to clear away the moss. The stone was cold, wet, and it felt like it had been waiting for his touch for a very long time. Close up on his fingers scraping moss, letters slowly emerge. First the name A-M-A-N, then the surname M-A-T-H-U-R, then the date of death, 16 August 1998. Aman falls back, staring. His breathing becomes ragged. His own name, his own birth date, but carved as the day of death. The world tilted. Everything Aman believed about his life folded in on itself. He was kneeling in front of his own grave. The birds had gone silent. The forest held its breath. And then, from somewhere behind the tree, he saw something that didn't belong, a small, glossy shape lying on the ground. Aman picks up a brand new photograph. On it, the back of a man walking away, jeans, a gray hoodie. Aman's face freezes. He looks down at his own clothes. The exact same jeans. The exact same hoodie. The camera pans slowly from the photo to his torso, matching them perfectly. He turns the photo over faint English words. You are already inside. The new photograph felt wrong in every way. It was glossy, fresh, developed recently, and it showed a figure walking through the fog from behind. Jeans, gray hoodie, the clothes Aman was wearing right now. He looked down at his own chest, his own legs, as if checking that he was still himself. The realization struck with the force of a hammer. The photo had been taken just moments ago, and on the back, in the same faint handwriting, the message read, "You are already inside." Inside what? The grave? The loop? The nightmare? The answer didn't matter, because the moment he read those words, the fog thickened, and the first whisper returned, but this time, it wasn't just a memory. The whisper echoes around him. "Remember this grave." Aman spins. The air grows icy. Distant headlights flicker through the trees. A car approaches his car. Through the fog, the same old car Aman drove. It stops at the same unmarked turnoff just visible from the graveyard. The door opens. A figure in a long coat steps out. Aman watches in silent horror as the stranger walks toward himself. The stranger stops, lifts a pale hand, and slides an old black and white photograph toward the camera. The head tilts, and for the first time, the fog clears from the stranger's face. It is Aman's face. The exact same face. The same eyes, but empty, like a mirror that had seen too much. Aman watched himself step out of the car. He watched himself approach a man who looked exactly like him. A man frozen in a moment that had already happened, was happening, and would happen forever. He watched the stranger's hand extend with the photograph, the same grave, the same banyan tree. And in the stranger's eyes, Aman saw the truth he had been running from. He had never left that road. He had been dead since 16 August 1998. The photograph was a marker. The stranger was a guide. And the grave had been waiting to welcome him home. And if you ever find yourself driving a deserted forest road and the GPS dies and a stranger hands you a photograph, look at the date. It might just be yours.